What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I want to talk about Jake Paul. I want to talk about Alycia Baumgardner. I want to talk about Anthony Joshua. And I want to start this video off by addressing something. See, when you throw shit down, it'll attract the flies. And racist ass motherfuckers, right, love to defend racism. Example, I asked the question, what has Devin Haney done to become the most hated man in boxing? Where did this even come from? Who's the one who started saying this shit? Where did this come from? So you got you idiots come in the fucking comment section. Oh man, stop the cap. Yeah, fuck you. Suck my dick, you bitch ass piece of shit, pussy motherfucker. Make me stop. Make me stop. Two, oh, you people, you love to, yeah, you people, exactly. This is exactly my point. Only racist motherfuckers would defend racism. If a motherfucker say, hey, I wish I could find all those girls that was raped and killed, bring them back to life so I could rape them again, and you support that motherfucker, you a rapist too. If you basically say, hey man, all those people that was extorted and killed, I wish I could fucking bring them back to life so I could extort them again, you're one of them. You are exactly what you defend. So when a motherfucker sit here and say all the things that Ryan said, yet he still get the support from his people, and they're talking like Devin actually did something wrong. Yeah, they're all fucking racist. Exactly. They're all fucking racist. I tell you what, if I had one of my people from my circle grab one of you by the collar and slap the shit out you, right? Take the back of his gun and beat your fucking brains out with it, and I sit back and go, oh, shit, look what they did to this motherfucker. Would you not say I was a part of it? I had the same mindset. If I'm sitting there, right? Okay. So shut the fuck up. You can't make me do shit. All you pussy motherfuckers can do is get in your fucking feelings and try to act tough behind the keyboard. I wish I see you in fucking person. I know none of you would say the shit that you say online. I guarantee you wouldn't. And you know you fucking wouldn't. Now, I just super violated you. You bitch-made motherfuckers. Make me stop. Now, let's move on to what I wanted to talk about. First off, Jake Paul calls out Anthony Joshua. And Eddie Hearn addressed it. He talked about it. He was standing there with Jao Padaya and he was asking about the fight. He was saying, hey, Anthony Joshua said he'll fight him. He'll fight anybody, right? Whatever. Now, my thing about Jake Paul is, like I said, Jake Paul says things, and what Jake Paul's strategy is, you can act stupid if you want, like you don't see it. Jake Paul only wants to fight people that are no good, that were never good, okay, that are no good no more, over the hill, whatever. He wants to find the best possible chance to fight somebody that he thinks he can win against. Anthony Joshua would beat the living shit out of Jake Paul. Jake Paul just fought a 58-year-old Mike Tyson that had 8 blood transfusions a couple of months before they fought. And he didn't even knock him out, and he was gassed and tired in the fucking fight. Now you got Jake Paul fucking nut huggers going, oh, but Jake didn't even really train for that fight because he knew he could beat my... Okay, whatever. Excuses. So Jake Paul says he'll be ready by 2026. And 2026, Jake Paul will be just as sucky then as he is now. And the reality of that is, he's attaching his name to Anthony Joshua because being that Anthony Joshua lost his last fight, and Anthony Joshua pretty much is having people like, you know, he's in doubt. He's in question right now. Like, does he still have it? Is his hunger still there? Can he come in there and do the same things that he, you know, has been known to do when he was on top of his game? That's all in question. Now, to show you what type of pussy shit that Jake Paul is on, he says he knows he'll knock Anthony Joshua out. Anthony Joshua has no chance. Okay, well, if Anthony Joshua is a walk in the park, why don't you go straight for Dubois, who knocked him out? Why would you want the loser? That's his strategy. No different from when Hassan Rahman lost to, what's his name, Kinsey Morrison. Why didn't he go after Kinsey Morrison? No, he goes after the loser. This is what he does. So, if the fight never happens, it will be because, nah, AJ still got it. Fuck that. Nah, he doesn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. He doesn't, believe me, he's talking this shit, and he's trying to, like I said, have his name attached to somebody who is gonna keep him relevant. Because after that bullshit with Mike Tyson, it's like sheep will follow people anywhere. But after that bullshit, it's like, all right, now what? Who you got? What you got up your sleeve now? Now what? And he'll talk all this 2026 shit. So he's calling Anthony Joshua's name. Meanwhile, I'm guaranteeing you, the next person he fight will be somebody not respectable. This is what he does. This is what he does. Because for that matter, another pattern that fighters have done, they'll fight someone that you fought and see what they can do against that person. Like example, like I told you, he won't fight Francis Ngannou. Why? Now, you want to fight AJ, who knocked out Ngannou, but you don't want to fight Ngannou. But you want to fight Anthony Joshua instead of Daniel Dubois. See, this is all this little childish logic that people get caught up in because they're fans of these motherfuckers. Actually, AJ put a text up showing that he actually talked to Jake Paul and was like trying to find out if he was serious. And I see a follow-up video with Jake Paul. He's like, yeah, man, I know AJ, we're friends and this and that, but I'm serious. We'll fight. And he's telling him he'll knock him out because he has no chin. All of this shit. And I'm like, once again, Jake Paul this is what Jake Paul does. And what happens is, if a million fucking people say, hey, he'll get killed by AJ, as long as those million people tune in to watch the fight, that's all the fuck they care about. Is the success of the show, the money. Now, does he want to win? I believe he wants to win. But AJ would fucking destroy him. John Patai was standing there right next to Eddie, and he asked him something about him fighting Jake Paul. He said, I wouldn't fight him. He said, I'd something to that effect. Like, I'd like decimate him or something. Like, basically, I'd fuck him up. So, like, it wouldn't even be a fight. And this is the shit that Jake Paul does, man. And this is why I said, you know, like, for boxers to not call him out, well, you know, he does a lot for female boxing and he does this and that. And okay, that has nothing to do with him calling out fighters and trying to pretend to be something he's not. But guess what? What's working for him is because he's allowed to have this little cakewalk. That's why. And this is what boxing has been reduced to. So the way I see it, right, people don't care about integrity. They don't care about nothing anymore. And pretty much, if the bag is big, people gonna go after that big bag. That motherfucker made $40 million fighting a 58-year-old washed up Mike Tyson. So yeah, him versus AJ should definitely be significantly more than that. And if it was to happen after AJ knocks him out, the first fucking thing he's gonna do is pull that bullshit about, you know, I'm not a seasoned veteran like AJ and blah blah. That's when the excuses are gonna come. You know, that's the type of excuses. In fact, if you listen to him now, he's saying he's like, hey, I'm better than people think, and talk about how, you know, like I don't have no fight. See, he'll reverse that. Okay. So I'm not even caring about that fight. But if it happens, it happens. Basically, he just needs for somebody to knock him out and shut his fucking mouth. And the thing about it is, he has no fucking stamina. He runs, and then basically he's fight people that's just not worth shit anymore. It's as simple as that. He's beaten no legit fighters. And that bullshit that Roy Jones was talking about, the Anderson Silva shit, man, come on with that shit, man. Anderson Silva, 40-something, 45 years old or whatever, that's not even the boy. If he was 45 and was a fighter, was an actual boxer who had you know, the experience and had a chin and had, you know, come on, man, stop. Anderson Silva is he's not even really decent, man. Stop it. And this is the thing. You're trying to give people credit for beating people that they should beat. That would be like me playing a fucking 12-year-old in basketball and destroying him and then walk around like, yeah, hawking up like I just did something. Like, seriously. At the end of the day, though, that's what Jake Paul is known for doing. So all this shit he's talking about Anthony Joshua, he's attaching his name to try to, you know, like I said, keep himself relevant. And basically people will talk about it. And like I said, he'll go into his next fight with some motherfucker that's, I mean, I guess maybe he'll fight Holyfield next. Who knows? Foreman just passed, so Foreman's off the table now. And Foreman was the right age for him, 76. This dude, man, he's trash. Let's just be real. Another thing I want to talk about. People talking about how he's bumping up Alycia Baumgardner, saying she's like the top level female fighter, the best female fighter and all that and all this. And, okay, well, you gotta remember something. When you work with someone, that's what you do. You promote them, you bump them up. If he was working with Claressa Shields, he'd be saying the same thing. Anybody he's working with personally, and that he sees that somebody he want to try to push, of course, that's what he's gonna do. Now, I don't give a fuck what Jake Paul says. How is she the face of boxing? Or even I'm so sick of that term, the face of boxing or all that. How is she any of that? She don't even have the resume for that. Okay? She needs a win against someone like Amanda Serrano or Katie Taylor. She needs those type of wins. The Michaela Mayer win, you got to understand something. See, when you look at who's who in boxing, right? And you try to understand, if you're looking at who's who, not what people are telling you, what you actually see. Because you can see a fighter and know, nah, this dude is good. This kid can fight. But what we don't know is when you see, this is what I'm saying. People look at Abdullah Mason getting dropped and they talking shit. Oh man, he's exposed. Man, here y'all go with that goofy clown shit. He's exposed because he got dropped. But he got back up. We seen that Campbell dude drop racist Ryan bitch ass. And yeah, but he got back up. Right. But see, when it comes to certain fighters, nah, that shit, same thing don't apply. He got right back up. And the fact of the matter is he finished his opponent off. Got dropped twice. It was a good back and forth. Same thing that happened with Ryan Lyle and fucking George Foreman. But people would go, that was a great fight. Somehow, with certain people, it wasn't. It was just, okay, whatever. So, they make up this shit and they say these things. So we don't know. Like Chris Colbert, for example, he was flashy, had flair to him, but we never saw him tested. And when he got his first defeat, Chris Colbert was never the same, and he never will be the same again. Chris Colbert, he's finished. He's done. Stick a fork in him. He's done. Alycia Baumgardner is a good fighter, but she doesn't have the resume. She doesn't have the star power. She doesn't have any fights significant that stands out where we can say Alycia Baumgardner is that chick. And for example, I would say her very last fight with Leonardo was her best performance I've ever seen, because she was able to step it up, and when it looked like she was about to get tired, she come back with a flurry, and so that was overall her best performance that I've seen. Now, the biggest fight that she's been in was against Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer is chasing star power. She's trying to get that position. She's willing to fight whoever that's not even in her division, and she has a belt. Try to get that star power. So they're in the same situation. So Jake Paul is going to say that shit. You expect him to not try to bump her up and try to, put hype around her. The problem is she to do that, to say all these things and then have her go in there and fight against somebody that nobody cares to see her fight, that does nothing for her. So having, money behind a fighter and promoting them and saying all these things, that's all good. But it can also backfire. It could also hurt that fighter. Because if that fighter is not fighting against the people that they need to fight against, what are we talking about? So, because Jake Paul says what he says about Alycia Baumgardner, that puts her over Claressa Shields? That puts her over Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor because Jake Paul said so? No, absolutely fucking not. We'll see what happens with Alycia Baumgardner. I mean, look, understand something about any fighter. Any fucking fighter. Whoever is in your corner, they're going to talk about you like you are the best or one of the best for sure. Or coming up in the ranks. What fucking trainer is going to stand there and say, or promoter, well, he's not shit, or he's not as good as he thinks he is. Other than Bob Arum talking shit about, him and Crawford having their situation, or when they have a fallout, Bullet and Raleigh Romero, shit like that. Other than that, who the fuck is going to stand up here and shit on their fighter? Who's going to put another fighter over their fighter? So it doesn't matter what the fuck Jake Paul says. Alycia Baumgardner has to go in there and deliver. And you see, the problem, the one thing I don't care about pound for pound, I don't give a shit about any of that. Because when pound for pound, even let's say if number one and number two was a lightweight and a heavyweight, Could that lightweight actually physically beat that heavyweight in the fight? No. So in each division, you look at who's who. And there's still a lot of unfairness. Because you got a lot of fighters that still haven't gotten a chance to prove themselves. And you got a lot of fighters that have favoritism. So I don't really care about that pound for pound shit anyway. But when you look at who's the best female fighter in boxing, come on, man. Who has Alycia Baumgardner beat? What does Alycia Baumgardner show you in the ring that makes her the best? Everybody can have their opinions, but you got to look at the person's body of work as well. She just don't add up. She just doesn't add up. And there's no fucking way. If you're talking about accomplishments, can you even put her in the same category as a Shields, a Serrano, and a Katie Taylor? You just can't do it. Now, in terms of who she's capable of beating, she might be able to beat Katie Taylor. She might be able to beat Amanda Serrano. She ain't gonna beat no motherfucking Clarissa Shields, and she's not gonna fight Shields because she don't have the courage to go to 154. That's why she's playing this whole, let's keep your word and come to 147. She's the only one holding on to that stupid shit. And with Jake Paul being behind her, he's probably gonna try to stir the pot between her and Clarissa. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. So I'm not saying, I'm not saying that this is true. But I saw a thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, and that's why I'm telling you, and I don't know that this is true. A thumbnail of Clarissa Shields, and it just said across the thumbnail, I'm pregnant. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay? And if that be the case, well, that means Shields will be out of boxing for a while. And I haven't heard anything. Didn't even look into that because I had things to do. But probably tonight, maybe in a little while, I'll look up to see if there's any follow-up, any truth to that. Because Clarissa said nothing on her own channel. Nothing I saw. But again, I didn't even look for that shit. I wasn't looking for that anyway. And that shit just came up in my feed. So I'm like, okay. But even still, the point that I'm making is, if there's any truth to that, or the fact that Shields already has a busy schedule of who she wants to fight, she's not thinking about Alycia Baumgardner low ass unless Alycia comes up. So for that to be the case, well, don't be shocked if Jake and Alycia start this bullshit trying to make noise, trying to build her profile up and trying to put her in the picture. We heard Alycia Baumgardner before her last fight say, I have to reintroduce, Alycia Baumgardner to the world to show who Alycia Baumgardner is. When the fuck is Clarissa hasn't said that since coming from the Olympics to the pros. You understand what I'm saying? As a fucking kid back in the day. So, and Alycia Baumgardner is already in her early 30s. Y'all gotta get, you gotta understand, man. It's really easy to talk shit and run your fucking mouth about who's who and who's what. But when you look at who's actually making moves and who's doing what, you really can't compare any of this shit. If you look at Alycia Baumgardner's resume, and listen, this is not to try to take any credit from her. She just hasn't done much yet. Now, you can see that she has some skill. She's a good fighter. But at the same time, who is she beat? Lenarda 2 beat her. She beat Lenarda 2. She beat Michaela Mayer in a very, 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 very close fight. And so my point is, what have we seen in her that made her the best female fighter? And then 2, you got to also understand, okay, she had some shit in her system. Gave a hair sample 3 fucking months later. And then what happens? She's cleared all of a sudden. So, I'm just, just saying. Let's not play stupid and act like she didn't have something in her fucking system. And that's another thing. This is why Chris Eubanks Jr. is so adamant about Conor and different people that, that may speak on these things, because these fighters get caught, they get popped dirty, they get suspended, or they don't get suspended, or whatever. Somehow they're right back lined up for a fight. Hannah Gabriels is back. They all say they didn't do anything, they didn't put anything in their system. all this shit that they say, but like, if that's the case, we can just anything. Hey, did you rape that little girl? As you're zipping up your pants and no, officer, I just went to see because the door was open to make sure everybody was all right. And I just closed the door back and I didn't even know there was a little girl in there. Oh, okay, sir, thank you. No, you know it don't happen like that. So I don't know. It's just like certain people have certain connections where people will try to get them a lighter sentence. Okay, is less of a punishment as possible. I don't even like that word, but pretty much people can have their own opinions on whatever. But what I'm saying, like if somebody says Alycia Baumgardner is their favorite fighter, okay, fine. But if you say Alycia Baumgardner is putting in the work to say that, I like if you like what you see in the ring, okay, fine. But who she's beating and how she hasn't done shit yet, man. She hasn't fucking done shit yet. And like I said, like her wins are her wins. But bottom line, she still has a lot of work to do, man. Before you can even put look, if she used to beat Serrano, she's to beat Taylor, whoever else, Choi, if she just the problem is this, and like I said, once again, you don't have a lot of superstars in female boxing. You don't even men's boxing is become stagnated. It's just the thing with the females. This is what they've been doing, up and down in weight. Now, Clarissa is going from 154 to 160 to 168 to 175. Now, after 175, she's talking about going back down to 154. This is what they have to do simply because for them to make the type of headlines that they want, they can't stay in one division because there's not enough people there. And so when you look at it, that's why I always said, I don't know how long Clarissa wants to box, but after Franchon, after Hannah Gabriel's Franchon, a possible rematch with Marshall, she go to 154. Then who down there? Who? I mean, she can become undisputed again. She can go for that again, but who is there? That, you understand what I'm saying? So if it's about these smaller women coming up, the only one that will probably do it is Michaela Mayer. I don't see Amanda Serrano doing that shit. She's not doing it. I don't see Katie Taylor doing it for sure. And Alycia Baumgardner is not going to do it. So for Alycia Baumgardner, if she's not willing to go to 154, they really need to stop saying Clarissa's name. And then two, that's the fights they should be trying to make. It's like her and Serrano, or her and Katie Taylor. And since they're having a third fucking fight, well, whether it's the winner of those two or whatever it may be, I don't know. But what do you expect Jake Paul to say? Of course he's going to fucking big up the fighter that he has an interest in pushing her and trying to get her to that next level. Of course. And plus, she's younger. She's like, what, 32 now? Something like that. Like 32, 33, whatever. So she's younger than Katie and Amanda, but she's already in her 30s. And people don't understand that time goes quick, especially when you only fight once or twice a year. And, the last time we seen her was against a Delphine Pursoon that had one fucking leg sleeved all the way fucking up, had a brace on her shit, and we know how that fight ended. But, I mean, being out of the ring doesn't help you. It's being in the ring, keeping it sharp. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Jake Paul is going to say that shit because that's his, of course he's going to say that. Jake Paul talking that shit about Anthony Joshua. He's trying to keep himself relevant, like I said. And to all you racists, fuck you. Over and over. Fuck you, your daddy, your mama, and your whole racist family. Now, do something about it. Never fall in love with lies. Remember that truth brings hate out of you bitch-ass motherfuckers. And I will see you on the next fucking video.